All right, boys, welcome back to the Side Boob, the official podcast of the Man Boob Fantasy Football League, Season 2, Episode 1. Let's get into it. All right,
Let's go, boys.
we pull up.
Do it.
There's the draft board. I should have.
Like it.
All right, yeah, it's kind of scuffed because I think I was giving the bird to Josh.
Oh, okay.
All right, did you guys have fun at the draft?
This
Let
was-
me just start real quick by thanking Jared again for hosting.
Yes, thank you.
Because-
Thank you, Jared.
I mean, it's just taken the league to another level since he started doing that. That draft room is perfect.
Well, and you can
Yeah.
tell that
Yeah.
him and his wife are just fucking starting to make tons of money because every time we go back, it's just like better
Yeah,
every year.
dude.
That's a brand new pool. That's a brand new pool from last
Yeah,
year.
I didn't even
So
get in
they
the pool.
Yeah, it really is. The house is fucking great, looking better and better every year. Good job, J Rod and the crew. I will say one of the funnest, most complete drafts in recent years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like nobody got uberly fucked up, right? You can all kind of tell we're getting a little bit older. You lasted.
Did you guys not realize how fucked up I was?
Yeah. And the next morning, I was like, man, I got fucked up too.
Dude,
The whole night.
I could barely walk. I could barely put sentences together. I threw up. I threw up in Jared's bathroom.
Did you?
Yeah, I guess nobody really. Jared probably found out the next day when I think his wife was in the bedroom right there. And I remember I had to focus so hard to make it up those stairs to the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm glad I made it to the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, what you do that, Jared's all just like covered up with some newspaper and fucking leave it. Dude. You got
I think
they get it figured out.
I think his wife noticed the newspaper on the floor the next day.
Dude,
And fell.
I
Nicole,
felt
she fell in the puke one time because I just covered it up with. I'm kidding.
I felt it all the next day, dude. I felt terrible yesterday. Not just physically, but like I was in like a somber mood. I did not feel good, dude.
No, exactly the same. Exactly. I didn't wake up yesterday till 2:30.
Telling
And,
you. Yeah.
I can't believe Tori came to pick me up and we sent her home.
Yeah.
was she pissed?
No, she didn't care, but I felt kind of bad about it.
I feel you were on another. You were like
Well,
like we said, it's literally your favorite day of the year.
and that was also after the draft. During the draft and all, we made it through everything. Everybody was pretty clear. Everybody's pretty clear-headed,
And it's anybody's league this year, may I say? You know, like couple teams that are a little bit rocky, right? Could use a little help, but nobody's out of it.
Right. Let me go ahead and pull up the draft board. Yeah, this is as even as I think it's ever been. Like even if you go, I mean, I don't really put too much stock into like projected points, but they're like just about even across the board.
yeah.
Everybody's right around that 90 mark. I think Miller's like 96. But
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's within about 5 to 6 points of each other.
This is a veteran league. Like just looking at the draft
Yeah.
board, man. Like
Mhm.
this league, it's a tight league. Everybody brought it this year.
And I have to say, dude, fucking Noble for coming in once. I mean, everybody knows he knows sports, but he drafted really well for Jim. Jim should be pretty thankful for that.
He did do pretty well, but
Mm-hmm.
I think his Kamara and David Montgomery got overlooked a little bit.
yeah, Monty's somebody who's going in the third round. I've never seen him go in the second round, but I do like David Montgomery a lot. He reached on a couple players like Claypool. Claypool's like a 6th round guy. But we'll get to Noble. We'll start with Brad.
Yeah.
Right on down. Derrick Henry, CEH. I don't have an issue.
No.
Especially in standard league, I'm fine with taking Derrick Henry 1 overall.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
With injuries being a factor, he is by far the most sturdy running back in the league by a huge margin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to need a sturdy with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'll say, because he's a G, but I lost him for like 4 games last year. And when he gets chinchy, they stop playing him as much.
He made me a little nervous, and that's why I passed on him. I think, dude, I've been thinking it over so much. Like, I was going back and forth on Waller and CEH.
I think that was the way to go. I think we all know who he is. He's not going to be a backbone, but he's going to be there. He's going to be reliable. That offense is just too good for a running back to just kind of sit there.
Yeah. He's gonna be
I definitely would have taken him over David Montgomery. I definitely would have taken Clyde Edwards over David.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a game.
They're both in that range for me.
I agree.
Waller was somebody. Go ahead.
I think the fact that even if you drop him down a little bit, which I don't, I think the showing where I got Josh Jacobs, where Kamish got DeAndre Swift. I think there was, where Coppin got Miles Sanders, where Miller got Chris Carson. And I think there was a lot of it proved you really could get some good running backs in the third. Something I have back on though, bro, is Brad is very, very notorious for taking tight ends, Kittle. And honestly, dude, when you get a boner for a player, really wanted a solid tight end. That's kind of something I wanted this year and didn't get. I really wanted a really good tight end. I would have liked a Waller, but it didn't fall to me because somebody else wanted him just a little bit more. And in Don's defense, I sent him a screenshot that I've done about 3 or 4 mock drafts with the 5th overall to see how I fared on certain players. And Darren Waller goes before Don took him every time.
Yeah, he's a second-round guy. Second or third if you're lucky. And he's a guy I really wanted, especially. He's a guy I was drafting a lot if I got like the first 3 picks. I was always going after a Waller.
So would you say you've gotten like the team you would have like mocked for? Like you've mocked this team before, Don?
I've never really went the running back anchor strategy. And I definitely didn't expect to do it on draft day. But once I took Waller, that was it. My fate was sealed. Like I guess I could have gone James Robinson third. I definitely could have.
But you know what, bro? If Brad goes twice there, and who knows if he would have gotten Waller, you would have been fucking furious. And he very well may have. So at the end of the day, you got your guy.
Brad was playing mind games with me all day.
Really?
Yeah, every time I was trying to predict who he was going to pick, and fucked me up a few times. He sniped me on Hunt.
Yeah. You'll start noticing around July, August, I really start distancing myself from Brad, just like an overall personal thing. And I do better at fantasy every year.
But I think he's got a really safe team.
He does.
There. He followed it up with 2 solid wide receivers.
I thought Robert Woods was a great pick. He was kind of like when I was like doing like research and stuff for just the drafts in general, he was on my like quiet radar. Like I thought that was going to be one of Jim that I thought I'd be able to get late. But every draft that I was in, Robert Woods went way before like I thought he would. I was like, man, like he's on everybody's.
Stafford's number 1
radar.
receiver fucking eats, bro. He's gonna eat.
Yeah,
I think Cooper Kupp's gonna eat.
I know, and Cooper Kupp. It was kind of like the structure of my team why I went Cooper over Robert Woods. That's another one I've been going back and forth on. Like,
wait, you went Cooper over Robert Woods, Don?
I went Kupp. I think he has more upside than Robert Woods. I know Robert Woods has a safe floor. I already went that safe floor guy with Allen Robinson the pick before. And I just feel like Cooper Kupp getting the end zone more. He didn't happen last year. He had like 3 touchdowns, but he's been like a top 5 receiver. I don't know if Robert Woods has that kind of ceiling. That was my train of thought, but I don't know.
And those guys are good because the Rams offense, they're one of those offenses. If you look at like their 2 wide receivers, their tight end and their running back, they don't rotate guys very often. Sometimes you'll get these good offenses where they're kind of spreading the ball a lot, rotating running backs. They're bringing people in and out in different formations and stuff. No, their starters start and they play the whole game and they produce. There's not, if that makes any sort of sense. Like
the Rams start.
The running backs don't get vultured that much. They don't really have like a slot guy who's eating up like all like the little passing stuff. They have their starters and they play. Like, you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to be solid. I definitely wanted a piece of
Yeah.
that offense. I know that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Cowboys was another one, but I wasn't. Cowboy CeeDee Lamb was a guy I was drafting a lot in mocks, but Allen Robinson was somebody I like just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brad followed up Hunt with Justin Herbert. Good pick.
Okay, before we go past that, gentlemen, I think that's one of Brad's most interesting picks. How do you feel about where he took Hunt?
He's great for a flex. Great flex.
That's about where he
took him, though, which I don't argue about the player. I love the pick. But do you think he could have waited and gotten him? And if the answer is no, no.
I don't think so. Not the way running backs are flying off the board.
No. He shouldn't have. Yeah. That's completely appropriate.
He got 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds, and that's just stability right there. And that's just having that extra running back you can cycle into the running back 2 spot, whatever. Like if CH goes down, like it's not like totally detrimental to his team. Like if I lose CMC, I am owned. It's over. It's a wrap.
I do think Kareem Hunt is a 1,000 to 1,100 total yardage guy with 10 or more touchdowns.
And that's
if he gets that, I mean, definitely.
And that's all you can ask for out of that's his flex. Can't ask for much better than even 800 to 900 yards and 7 to 8 touchdowns. That's
I mean, that's just 1 through 7. That's his core team right there. He's got his running backs. He's got his 2 wide receivers. He's got his flex. He's got his quarterback. He got T.J. Hawkinson in the 7th, which I think is probably the best pick of the entire draft value wise. I never saw him fall that far. I mean,
that is a really good pick.
A target machine. He's more valuable in PPR because he doesn't really get in the end zone as much because that offense is shit. But there's nobody else they're going to throw the ball to. I mean, that's the only person there.
I thought Marquise Brown was a great pick too.
See, that's the
Hollywood.
only pick on Brad's board I didn't like. I can't get on board with Marquise Brown. I mean, when are you going to predict that dude's going to go off? When are you going to comfortably plug him into your lineup?
And that's true, but that's what
I think he's going to go off for 20 points, and the rest he's going to do nothing. Mark Andrews is the only pass catcher I would want. That's personal.
Yeah. That's also a non-starter though too.
Yeah. I can't knock him too much for it because his lineup was already set at that point. It's a solid lineup.
Receiving core will eat a little bit more with Dobbs being out. Or Dobbins being out.
Sure.
A little bit. Could be wrong.
Lean on his arm a little more?
I think, honestly, I didn't want to sound too much. I think they're going to rely on Lamar, period, more. But I think a little bit of passing is going to be involved. To what degree, I don't know. But at the same, and just like you guys were saying, this is a bench guy.
Yeah, I can't knock him too much for it.
So we hit the old CMC crew.
We'll just move over. I mean, who's on his bench here? Like, my arm's in the way. I guess I can pull up his team. I don't know who he picked after Brown. Let's go to standings. We'll pull him up. We'll check out his bench real fast. Just move right along.
And I think it's pretty solid too. Having the first
really well.
Having a first round pick's a big responsibility. Yeah, and he crushed it.
You got James
Conner
was another one he sniped me on. He sniped me on James Conner and he sniped me on Kareem Hunt. It's like trying to
Devontae Parker also being his last pick is a great value pick.
That's not bad either.
For the last pick in the draft being Devontae Parker,
I agree.
Yeah, good job, Brad. You guys want to talk about my team real fast? I'm gonna go check on her. She's in the living room.
I'm sorry, I'm not on the Darren Waller bandwagon. I remember, no, he's a great player, great tight end. I just don't think that was the pick to go at all.
Yeah,
I would not have went
definitely. I looked and experimented with the running back anchor, and it actually worked out a few times. And I think it would have worked out a lot better. I don't know. Let's see who you could have gotten there as far as
He could have gotten his running back core could be CMC, CEH, and James Robinson.
Yeah, dude, well, I didn't want to go that running back. I don't need to.
Right.
McCaffrey.
I'm just.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's say
if I could do the draft over again, I probably would go CEH and hope Darren Waller falls to me in the second or in the third. But I would be happier with my team, and I know my team would look a lot better on paper to the rest of you.
Let me ask you this: if any of the players drafted in the second round before you got Waller, so picks, picks 13 to 21 or 22, would you have taken Waller before any of those other players?
Maybe not. No. Justin Jefferson was a guy I was looking at the end of the second. He didn't fall to me. I didn't think Ridley or Metcalf would, but maybe Mixon. Mixon was falling to the end of the second a lot, and Mixon's a guy I'm high on. He didn't fall to me. It's just like a lot of the guys that I liked going into this year were not falling to me. So I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm getting the guys I like. I like Waller, and I love Allen Robinson. So let me just.
And you would
Don. There's something you may like him. There's something could be that Fitz is throwing to him, which I love Fitz's personality, and I hope he does great. But he's just not a marquee guy to me. I'm not crazy about Terry McLaurin either. And if you ask me if I would rather have Terry McLaurin or Darren Waller, I'll take Darren Waller in that too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I prefer Waller. I mean, if you look at my first 4 picks, that's like 125 targets per person by the end of the year, I think. Like, my first 4 picks are just,
that is true.
So much volume is going to go their way. So, besides the Waller CEH thing, which I've been going back and forth on, and the Cup Woods, Julio Jones is the one guy in my lineup that that wasn't a guy I was high on, but he just seemed to be the best available at the time, so I grabbed him. And Brad just sniped me on Hunt, so it's like, fuck, man. That's why it was taking me so long to make my picks, dude. I was just getting stumped. The picks that were going before me and trying to predict what Brad was going to do, I was almost in my own head.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, one thing that really does help your team is getting a marquee quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. If you had settled for somebody like if you had to get Matt Ryan, like if Aaron Rodgers wasn't there and that was the best quarterback, like your team would look a lot different.
I knew I had to make up some ground.
Yeah.
And that's where the Rodgers pick came in. I think those might be my 2 best picks.
Yeah.
It was the 6-7 turn where I grabbed Rodgers and I grabbed Sermon. Because Sermon was like one of the last guys in that tier that I was willing to draft. And there he was. Damian Harris was gone. Damian Harris was a guy I liked in the 7th round. He was gone. When did Howie drafted?
Jalen Hurts was his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
No, his running back. He drafted.
Gaskin.
See, no, I'm looking at 40. Gaskin.
He got Gaskin in the 5th.
Yeah, Gaskin was another guy I was hoping would fall to me, but didn't.
If I didn't take Lamar there, I was looking at either Higgins or Gaskin.
I regret when Howie picked Gaskin. He picked that 2 picks after I got Carter. When Howie drafted him, I was like, man, that would have been a way better pick. Yeah. I just didn't see him.
The Carter pick. I think it's going to be a fucking committee.
Yeah, if you look at Gaskin's game log, dude, when he played, he fucking ate it, dude.
Yeah, he did.
And that's the reason he's not going to not do it again.
But
to a decent degree.
See, after Sermon, I go after Sermon. So I should probably know. Yeah, if Sermon wins that job, if Mostert goes down, it's a pretty good chance, at least for a few games. I think my team could be looking a lot better.
If Sermon gets that job, he's going to do good.
You should average 25 out of both your running backs all year, and that's saying something. I think it'd be a fair thing. 25 a game from 2 running backs. I think that's solid.
I think I drafted a competitive team, potentially a playoff team, but I don't think I drafted a championship team.
But you know what? Nobody drafts a championship team. You got to maintain and you got to build it.
It's true.
I've noticed that every time I've sat still, a little too still. I think sometimes in recent years that definitely I'm on the trade blocks this year, just looking at different things, different moves. Nothing unnecessary, But a trade a year can make the biggest difference, man. Look at Andy last year. Look at me when I won it and went back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other people have their stories. I'm not trying to monopolize it, but you got to make a fucking move to get there now, especially in this league, especially as time goes on, right, Don? And everybody's getting better.
I mean, Jameis Winston trade single-handedly put me in the championship 2 years ago against Miller, and I was not the second best team. I just needed a quarterback, and Winston went off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Plus, didn't you make some trades, or didn't you pick up some key running backs like Philip Lindsay in free agency?
Lindsay was the year I won it, and he was a big reason why I won it.
Okay. But he was a guy you picked up in free agency, right?
Yeah, I picked him up week 1 because I drafted Royce Freeman, and like Lindsay was getting more touches, and after that week 1 game, I went and picked Lindsay up. But my bench, I got some solid players on my bench, but I have so many wide receivers. What the fuck am I gonna do with these guys? I was just taking the best available player at that point.
Howie even brought it up to me, and he was completely right. He looked at me and goes, dude, like you should have drafted Jamal Williams.
Who? Nathan?
Yeah, Howie told me that. Yeah. He said you should have got Jamal, and he's right. I should have.
Yeah, dude, Swift scares the shit out of me, man.
He does
he's
too.
He's already going into the season with a groin injury, and those things are so easily re-aggravated.
Yeah, it's one of the most re-aggravated injuries.
Yeah, I was very happy I ended up with Jamal Williams. I mean, it's not an exciting piece, but I needed a running back.
I think the Robbie Anderson pick's a pretty cool pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Julio Jones doesn't work out, like I got some pieces I can plug in there.
Plus, I looked up numbers last year without a quarterback, dude. Good fucking God, man. That guy can go off.
Yeah. Gallup too.
Look at his numbers, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think widespread, you got the best receiving core in the league. Of course, nobody's outdoing Taylor's 1-2 punch.
Right.
But tight end included, you got the best receiving core in the league.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys feel about Julio?
I think it's
fine. I don't.
He's flex. I think that.
Great flex.
I don't think there's enough volume to go around. I mean, I know there's some vacated targets from Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith leaving, but they don't throw the ball that much, so he's going to have to be incredibly efficient with the balls that come to him to pay off for me. It makes me a little nervous, but it's fucking Julio Jones. He's one of the greatest to ever do it.
I think he's going to get 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, for him to get that, I don't think that's a stretch at all.
And that's a great flex. 9 touchdowns. I'm all right.
I think you can easily do that.
Listen to me. When you had Marvin Jones Jr. Together with Golden Tate, those guys were getting both 9 to 1,100 yards and 9 to 11 touchdowns a season. When you're talking A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, even with Henry, those dudes are going to, it's going to be decently similar.
They just, here, let's pull up A.J. Brown. I want to, the players. He doesn't get targeted that much. Like, he just does so much with the balls that come. That's another guy I passed on. I passed on A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown fell to the third. I passed on A.J. Brown for Allen Robinson.
I don't think that's crazy, though. But they're kind of, like you were saying, they're a little bit different. Allen Robinson gets a lot of targets.
Yeah, he does.
And A.J. Brown, he's a big yak guy. He does a lot of end and arounds.
And he got targeted 100 times. I mean, for an elite.
And he was out like 3 games.
Like, look how efficient he is. He got 11 touchdowns off 100 targets.
That team scores a lot of touchdowns. That team scores a lot.
They're just going to score more.
Yeah, they score a lot of touchdowns. A lot of their team's yards are with their running back running for over 2,000 yards last year.
A.J. Brown's coming in with like a knee issue too. I don't know how much, like, if that's going to hamper him at all. I mean, if at any point A.J. Brown goes down, it's going to be
I'd say this, whatever Corey Davis did, Julio Jones will have 3 more touchdowns and 250 more yards. Let's see what Corey Davis did last year in that offense.
He didn't have a bad year. Didn't have a bad year at all.
I mean, again, I would easily add 3 touchdowns and 250 yards receiving throughout the entire year. Would you guys disagree with that?
Did he play for Carolina last year? Or not Carolina, but Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 984 yards and 5 touchdowns, targeted 92 times.
8 touchdowns.
Even that right there.
Solid.
Okay, flex. It's a solid flex. And
You can with that flex.
Brandon Ayuk was another guy I was looking at. I was trying to decide between Julio and.
You did better with Julio. I am not on the Ayuk train.
But all right, let's move along. We've talked about my team enough. Noble, Josh, Jobel, whatever you want to call him. Kamara, Montgomery, Evans, Clay. I think he reached on a couple of guys. Claypool, Monty a little bit. I don't hate the way his team ended up. Got Dak in the 5th. Mike Evans is another guy that's like really touchdown dependent, and there are a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. But he does it every single year. So I mean.
And they're saying that Brady really got more and more comfortable with Evans as the year went on.
Yeah, he's just a red zone monster.
Yeah.
And Claypool was another guy that I might have ended up drafting, but he didn't fall to me because he went so early.
And you guys were right. That might have been an early pick, but I think he's gonna do so well.
I think I like him a lot, but like I like him like 6th round, 5th round, maybe.
And that's probably fair. But I think he's got great value.
That. I think he'll outperform that, so it makes it a good pick. But he still could have got him here. But at the end of the day, it was his guy though too. And if that's your guy, you got to go with him.
Yeah, it's a balance between not wanting to overpay for people you like and trying to get those people.
Yeah.
It's not easy. What I really didn't like. I mean, Noah Fant in the 7th. Not that I don't like Noah Fant that much, but I mean, when you look, he got Johnny Smith down here in the 11th round. I think I would have liked his team a lot more. If he would have just waited on Jonnu.
Yeah.
Pick somebody else in the 7th. He could have. Let's see, who could he have got? Yes. He already had Claypool, but Ronald Jones, Debo, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, yeah, he could have stacked up his wide receivers a little bit. Will Fuller 6 seems early to me.
That's his flex. That's
really
weird.
Early, right?
Yeah, I don't. I definitely would have taken. Let's see.
Dude, so
I guess he couldn't have gotten Higgins or Galladay.
Yeah, they were already gone.
Yeah.
But he could have got Hawkinson. Hawkinson was sitting right there. Instead, he waited a few picks and took Noah Fant. Noah Fant went 2 picks after TJ Hawkinson.
So his wide receivers are Claypool and Will Fuller. I don't know if I like that.
He got
and Mike in the flex.
Too.
Oh, that isn't his flex. You're right. That's his. Well, Fuller's his number 2 receiver. You're right.
It's his flex. He's got Mike Evans. Mike Evans, Claypool.
Oh, okay.
Or dude, I tell you this though. Does he have Mike Davis?
Yeah.
Dude, I have Mike Davis. That Mike. That's.
Sorry.
Who is that?
So Will Fuller's his flex.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm. Yeah. That's a scary flex.
Who else is on his bench?
DJ Chark's not a bad pick.
No, not for that late.
Yeah, Chark might end up being his flex. I don't know.
Listen,
I'd feel way better about putting Chark in my flex than Fuller.
Did he
draft
Fuller? Matt Ryan? Why did he draft Matt Ryan? What was the point of that?
I don't know.
He already got Prescott. I don't know.
Who's that right above him, Ryan?
That's Jonnu Smith.
Or no, that's 2 picks above Ryan.
Oh, I gotta pull it up.
I will tell you this. Noble's team is not bad, but it is by far, and it's hard to do this when you have Alvin Kamara, but he by far has one of the most unsexiest teams.
Yeah.
And
it's
just nobody. I mean, Kamara, absolutely. If I could have got Kamara, that's why I wanted the 4th, as I was going to take Kamara. It obviously wouldn't have lasted. I would have had to take Dalvin, but
it is Corey Davis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's had it already. Yeah.
I think Kamara, this is aiding to his team may have the best. Could either hurt him with Brees being gone, could very well help him. But I do think he will have the best year of his career this year.
I like Kamara. I like Kamara a lot. Yeah, he was my fourth player off the board behind CMC, Dalvin, and I think Kamara's going to be just fine.
I do too.
Yeah, their offense is going to be a little bit different, and people did look at, well, he didn't produce when Drew Brees wasn't there, but their offense was a lot different when Brees was there too. Right now, it's going to be a lot of more run based.
And Kamara is the staple of that offense right now.
Yeah.
When Drew was there, that wasn't the case.
You got to get him the ball.
Yeah,
you have to get.
They don't really have any besides Kamara. They really don't have any other weapons on offense.
Winston
Michael Thomas is gone.
Helped them a little bit, I think, too. You don't got to worry about Taysom Hill vulturing touchdowns every time they get points in.
Yeah.
Taysom's still going to play his role. Yeah, I think probably towards the bottom comes the teams. But it's not a bad team.
No, it's a winnable team.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I'm not counting him out by any means. That's kind of what we were saying. Like everybody's even. With that being said,
yeah.
He better hope to God Kamara has a fantastic year.
Oh, and that being said, though, like these teams aren't bad, but there is a Sacco in here.
I know.
There's a Sacco in this team. In this, draft.
I'm listening to him talk right now. No, I'm kidding. You're
Probably.
fine.
All right, moving on to Gil. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, two guys I like a lot. I don't know if I would have drafted them together. I mean, it's kind of a nitpick, but
the team was last year, and I had them, so I should know.
Who? What? Wait.
Hold on. Before we go on, what might be fun? Do you guys want to give each other our grades? Like, I think Brad, he had a good draft. I think he did A+.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So I would say Brad did.
I think Brad had an A+ draft.
I don't know if it's A+, but I'd probably give him an A.
I'll give him an A.
I'd give myself a B. Noble.
Well,
C.
Don, I'll give you. I think you had a B- just because I hate the Waller pick. And Noble, I give a B as well.
All right.
For Noble, I'll do B-. Don, I'll go B- as well. 2 B-.
On to Gil. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, James Robinson. So we got 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, which is always nice.
Do you think he could have gotten Pitts in the next round?
Maybe. I wouldn't be drafting Pitts in the 4th. 4th is too early for me.
Yeah, I would have taken.
Especially, look, you got Hawkinson went 3 rounds later.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
It's a risky pick. I mean, even if it pays off, it's not going to pay off at that ADP at that price he paid. I mean, he's going to have the best rookie tight end season ever. And even still, I don't know if it pays off that ADP. Yeah, I don't like that pick. Yeah. I'm not really high on Javonte Williams either. Not in the 5th round, at least.
I'm gonna say, listen. I don't. Melvin Gordon was 13th overall in fantasy last year. They paid him tons of money. I love Gil. Love Gil's team legitimately. Hate that fucking pick. And I think his team looks. And as far as is that his flex guy there? Yeah. If he were to be starting Chris Godwin in his lineup, rather than Kenny Golladay, I think his team's immensely better, and he could have had that.
Yeah, and that's he did the same mistake I did. Me and him both took 2 rookie running backs when we could have had Myles Gaskin or Edmonds.
Yeah.
Was Melvin Gordon taken when he took?
Melvin Gordon was taken. I know Bud got him in the 5th.
Yeah.
So
he got Melvin Gordon was drafted after Javonte Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
And Javonte Williams is going to get the majority of the touches, but still, it's kind of
not first half of the season. I don't think. I mean, if Javonte Williams is gonna, I don't think he's gonna. If he wins that job, it's not gonna be till the second half. I wouldn't expect much out of Javonte Williams the first half of the season.
Well, I think he's going to be like their receiver. Like he's going to get their receiving.
And do you know what I realized? He's going
to be the third round back.
He's not hardly making Gill's starting lineup anyway. Because Gill's going Dalvin Cook, James Robinson, then Jefferson and Kenny Galladay with Kyle Pitts.
And
I don't know.
Who's that? Deontay Johnson's who I would have in the flex.
Shout out. I gave him that, told him to take that pick.
I mean, you don't want to draft a guy in the 5th round that's not going to be playing. That's not going to be starting your lineup, you know?
I agree completely. The top 5 has to start. Has to start.
Who is this? Who is this?
Wait,
is that Gio?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Maybe PPR, not in a standard league.
I didn't like that either. I didn't love it.
He had some kind of homer picks. I mean, I know they're not Bengals anymore, but he went Gio, AJ Green back to back, and then he drafted the Bengals defense
and Bengals kicker.
Yeah,
I mean, Huda, big props for his.
I'll tell you this: his team. I love his team. I think he had, when I made my thing, I gave him a top 3 or 4 team.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But a thing that really set it off for me, that was his best pick, honestly, I don't know how, was Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was a big pickup for him.
Yeah, that's a nice pick. I mean, if you're going to wait on quarterback, that's one of the guys you're hoping falls to you. And he got
absolutely.
I agree. That was a good pick. 11th round, too, which is about he doesn't fall further than that. 11th is about the lowest I've seen him.
And it's honestly, I think it's too low. I think he's extremely undervalued.
Yeah.
Over Tom Brady in the 7th. Andy took Tom Brady in the 7th.
Wow.
I definitely would have probably rather have Tannehill.
He took Tom in the 7th?
Mm-hmm.
I like Tom, but when you're talking 4 rounds, those guys are not 4 rounds apart when you look at their end of the year stats.
No.
Yeah, that was kudos to Gil on that. That was good. That was definitely good.
Yeah.
Nobody has a bad team. Nobody has a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
Gil's a play game. I will say that.
Gil's gonna be playing the waiver wire, and Gil enjoys draft day as much as any of us, dude, which I appreciate.
Oh yeah.
He hung around and he was trying to show us like James Robinson highlights. He's just excited, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
Gil is a Parks Boys favorite.
Yeah, Gil's the man.
There's a lot of passion behind his team. There's a lot of passion in that team.
Yeah, there is, dude. This is
Gil will be on the Gil will be on the phone with you for 3 hours talking about a trade. And that's a fact.
He took 4 homeboys. He took Gio, Green, Bengals kicker, Bengals defense.
He literally punched a girl at the bar.
He drafts with his heart for sure.
He's a good drafter. Gil's a Hall of Fame.
He's a champion.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Gil.
So he's
do you like his team more than Noble's team?
Yes,
without question.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give Gil an A-.
I wouldn't go that high.
I'm gonna give him an A.
I'd probably give him B-.
Only difference is he could have got a better receiver and win.
I don't like Galladay, man. Yeah. I just don't like him. Maybe that's, and I don't like where he ended up. I don't like that Giants offense. He's got to rely on.
Dude, in the 5th round, you've got to take a guy that's in your starting lineup. He didn't do that. That hurt him a little bit. Also, when he took Pitts, he could have stopped there and he could have got. Let's see, bam.
I don't think there's any way you can give him an A grade just from those 4 or 5 picks.
I guess I do because I really love Alvin Cook.
I love both those guys too.
I don't love the picks there either. The Pitts pick there, but I don't think it ended up hurting his team.
I don't either. I really don't. I think both those guys.
I like that pick.
He could have just got a little more value there. With that being said, I still know it's going to come down to a trade, a good pickup.
Yeah, I mean we're not predicting. I mean, I guess we kind of are.
Yeah.
But we're not saying like this is who's gonna win. I mean, it's up for grabs.
True.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Travis. Chubb, Ridley, Jacobs, Godwin, Lamar. Yeah, I mean that's solid. I mean you draft players like right around their ADP. You didn't reach on anybody. I don't like Jacobs that much, but where you got
That's
him, that's
appropriate.
fine. Yeah.
He was the guy I was huge on for whatever reason. I would say DK, who fell to Sam Boner, and Jacobs were the two guys I really, really, really wanted to be able to land in a 2 or 3. I mean, dude, Jacobs may not have line, but he got 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. I don't think he's going to do worse than that, and I think that's worth a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, it's fine where you took him. It's fine. Yeah, I probably would have went Carson over him, but that's like personal preference. I'm not going to knock you for taking Jacobs over Carson.
Straight up, when you said that, you said it so strongly and opinionated that I was like, "Fuck, dude, I probably should have." But really, I do remember that. But yeah, I think they're a little bit 6-1, half dozen the other. They both could get hurt.
We're just gonna be second guessing our picks until first kickoff happens, and it's just like, all right, let's this is our squad. We're gonna roll with it, you know.
Listen, people can say what they want. Okay, there's nothing worse than picking a guy, right, and feeling great about it, and hearing somebody be like, dude, I just don't really like fuck with him, you know. Like, well, why not? Like, what did you see?
Yeah, I mean, Sam hating on Waller, dude.
Exactly.
I don't know how you can hate on Waller.
Exactly.
I had him last year. I like Waller as a player, but
I'd tell you this, dude. If you're not on mock drafts in the offseason, I think you're going to pay a little bit.
I mean, I was on mock drafts all offseason. Like, it's different. It's different once you hit draft day, for sure.
It is. It can be. I still think you wound up with the players you really wanted, though.
I did. I like all my players. Just a little worried about my running backs. But
you literally have one of the best fantasy running backs we've ever seen.
I know. That's why it works. That's why it's like, I can't be too concerned.
Yep.
But
I think and a great quarterback.
I think
good.
I think you drafted really well, Travis. Just looking at where you drafted players, you didn't reach on anybody that I can see really. No.
From Lamar to Higgins to Ronald Jones to Sutton.
You got them right around their ADPs, and then you got Gesicki in the 9th, who's a tight end, one of those late round guys that I like.
I thought that was kind of cool, right? Not a boring tight end, at least. You guys really helped me out with it, dude. So I thought 5th was the perfect pick because I was positive one person 1 through 4 was going to do something fucking stupid, like take Kelsey or just something, and I was going to get one of the big boys. I will say that I think Chubb maybe barely falls out from Derrick Henry, CMC to Kamara to Cook, but you guys really, it was between Chubb, Barkley, and Zeke. And Saquon, I fucking love him, Sam. I think he's the most athletic running back. He just scared me with his chintziness. And Zeke, I like, but I don't know. Then him struggling.
You got the right guy.
Yeah, especially standard league. You don't got to worry about his not being involved in the passing game, really. Chubb's a monster, dude. He's like arguably the best pure runner in the NFL. He's sick.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot of fun watching him this year. You're going to have a lot of fun watching Calvin.
Thumps and thumps and thumps.
The Calvin guys, I guess the first 2 picks, I had to take those guys, but you both really.
You've got a pretty fun team. You've got a really fun team. With Chubb and Lamar and
then you got
even
Higgins.
Godwin.
You got one of your Bengals you can watch. Which Higgins was the guy I was high on.
It's going to be a come out year for him, right? I could see
he was good last year.
The 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was good last year. He had 900 yards.
He got in the end
zone.
Like
8 touchdowns. Yeah. 8 times. That's without Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow the last 6 games. He's a great.
And I think Court Sutton could be a guy that I end up plugging in sometimes. They're saying that he very well. I mean, who was it? They were saying Matthew Berry and them. They were saying that they had him quite a bit above Judy, which I think Judy's more exciting, has a higher ceiling. But
Yeah, I prefer Judy a little bit over Sutton, but Judy was already gone at that point, so it doesn't really matter.
I think if I were to say the pick that changed my team was the Lamar pick, being that I was with that pick, I was literally going between Myles Gaskin, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson. Ended up with Higgins. Go ahead.
You didn't slip. I can't look. I can kind of say like I would have gone somewhere else. I can't really look at your team and think I would have done anything differently.
Not really, no.
I do think what could be my most surprised, biggest pick that serves me the most with depth and whatnot is my Marquise Callaway last pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite late round guys for sure. Yeah, I can't. There's really not much I can knock here.
Who's that dude above?
It's just like personal things, like Jacobs wasn't somebody I was really into, and
right.
Really, even though I almost picked Godwin, you picked Godwin, and I was gonna pick him, but he wasn't someone I was too high on. My goal was to like just hold off on the Buccaneers receivers and hope I land Antonio Brown. Is that somebody you can get in the 9th? And I think he's gonna be just as involved as the other two guys.
That was a great pick by Taylor, and shout out to Taylor. Taylor was a pretty big help to me just on. It's always fun to be one person at least bounce one or two ideas on. I know the Robinsons kind of stay quiet to themselves. They'll talk to each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. I get in my head on fantasy. I have to want to like sort it out with somebody,
somebody to talk you off the edge or talk.
Well, just like little things, yeah. Just whether it's an idea, or whatever. Taylor was a good guy, and I think Noble's even a guy you could do that with.
Yeah,
but
I was talking to Noble quite a bit in this draft actually. But yeah, I'd probably give you an A.
Nice, I'll take that.
I'd give you an A minus. Yeah.
Dude, if I wasn't on the podcast right now, Sam would have gave me like a B plus. I guarantee it. But it's what I thought.
Yeah, probably.
All right, next team we got the commish.
Commish, what do you guys think?
Your first two picks. I mean, that is. If Saquon stays healthy, I know it's a big if. I wasn't gonna draft. I didn't have the balls to draft him in the first round. It wasn't happening. I don't care if he fell to the 12th pick. I wasn't taking him. But if he stays healthy, following that up with Metcalf, I mean, that ceiling is just huge right there.
Metcalf is my most reliable player right now.
I am absolutely obsessed with your first two picks. I love them. Maybe good.
Makes me a little nervous because that Seahawks offense just disappeared in the second half of last year.
Really?
That's the only thing that would give me pause. I mean, yeah, you look at their first half of last year's stats compared to second half, it's night and day. Like Wilson was like on pace to be the MVP and shit, and they just totally fell off.
Yeah, I do kind of remember that. No.
Swift isn't a guy in a standard league. It's not a guy I don't like those little scat back guys in standard leagues. He got in the end zone. He was very efficient last year. He got in the end zone a lot, but I mean, let's pull up his stats. I would like to see actually.
Are you talking about Swift?
Yeah, Swift coming in with the injury. He makes me a little nervous. I wouldn't have drafted Swift personally, but I don't think he reached on him. The third round's about where he goes.
Love your running back, Sam.
I put it in my head that I was going to get a running back.
I feel
like that round. I had to get a running back there.
That's something I really wanted to get away from this year. I've go so running back hard, and it didn't serve me in past years.
Yeah, like you don't want to put yourself in a position where you got to take a guy you don't like because hey, fuck, I need a running back. You know,
right?
I'd rather just get guys that I know
feel
I
better.
You know?
Yeah.
I fully agree. Sam Bodini, if I could do one change on your team. Oh, no, let's stick with the DeAndre Swift thing right now.
Look, he had 500 yards last season. I mean, that's good.
10 total touchdowns.
Oh, that's slick.
That's what I'm saying. Efficient, but like that shit's hard to predict. I mean, how do you predict he's gonna fall in the end zone that many times?
Right.
Receiving, he had 357 yards.
That's for your third. He shares a little too much of a backfield, and it scares me.
Yeah, he makes me nervous. I would be very nervous about him.
And I am.
Yeah.
Sam, do you go Josh Jacobs there if he's there?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think I would have. I think I probably would have.
I would have taken Miles Sanders over him. I would have taken Chris Carson over him.
I would
have taken one of the wide receivers. You could have went AJ Brown. You could have started Saquon, DK Metcalf.
I was getting ready to say that I think the AJ Brown pick would have been fucking killer for you.
I can't believe AJ fell that far. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy.
CeeDee Lamb, I probably would have went CeeDee Lamb, and then just worried about running back, like instead of just settling for a guy. Josh Allen, you picked him right about where he goes.
I think that Sam, I love your team. Who's the Carter guy again?
Jets. He's a rookie running back for the Jets.
I was asked that.
What I do think really though helped me though, the two players that I'm like I got them. Okay, makes you a little bit more safe. Was Mike Davis and Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, that's the thing. Getting Mike Davis, you might as well have just picked another wide receiver or somebody with a little more upside. I mean, there's like no upside there at all.
Yeah,
especially if you're gonna follow it with Mike Davis, I would have just waited and gotten.
Yeah. Looking at who was available there, I did get freaked out. As I said, I'm gonna get a running back. I did get freaked out. Looking at my team now and seeing that, I got Mike Davis there. I should have went AJ Brown over Swift. Kittle would have been a better pick.
But your third round draft pick is always second. Sometimes second and third, brother, all make you fucking sweat.
Yeah, sure.
I would have went Darrell Henderson. I mean, the lead back in that Rams offense. That's a guy you could have got.
People were low on him this year too, but Taylor made the good point as well that they just picked up Sony Michael or Michelle or whatever way you say it.
I'm not too concerned. I think it's more of a depth thing. He's gonna take a little bit of volume away from Henderson, but
was Henderson the starter last year?
When
they split, they kind of split.
Akers when Akers went down, like Akers went off the second half of the season. Like
Henderson was good when he was in. He's a good back.
Yeah, whoever's getting the prime carries and prime receptions in that offense, like I was saying earlier, they eat. It doesn't matter who's there. The number 1 and the number 2 receiver are going to eat, and the starting running back are going to eat.
Yeah, I think the 5th round pick's probably my least favorite draft there.
Yeah, and looking at my team, like I said, it was a panic pick. I should have gotten AJ Brown or but I got too settled into that running back mindset. Like,
all right, Debo, Mecole Hardman's not he's kind of like a Hollywood Brown, like dude, like how are you gonna predict when this guy's gonna go off? How can you put this guy in your lineup and like with confidence? Like I would have passed on him.
And that was me trying to get a home run too. That was me like thinking like, well, all right.
I mean,
that was a reach.
Tyreek and Kelsey, like it's 1A and 1B, and nobody else fucking matters, basically.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas, that was a home run pick too.
I like that.
Is Austin Hooper your tight end 1?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Nah,
there's probably better tight ends in waivers right now.
I figured there would be. He was projected for them. I think he's
doing it yourself doesn't have to mean
like I said,
yourself. With the Home Depot as your partner, doing's never been easier. You can.
How was that? Did you guys hear that? Or is it just my end?
I think that was just your end.
All right, I was playing an ad. All right, Sam's team. I'm not high on him personally.
Yeah.
But between Josh Allen, if Saquon stays healthy, and DK Metcalf, There's gonna be some weeks where you blow up for sure.
I will tell you this: a lineup where it is Saquon Barkley, DK Metcalf, Mike Thomas, Josh Allen, I think is scary. Also, I think Mike Davis does give you a little bit of depth of running back. I'm just really afraid that the Swift pick might come through you.
Especially since you'd already drafted Saquon. I'm not drafting another guy that's coming into the season like with an injury. Like I'm playing it super safe.
Yeah.
But I guess you kind of I don't know.
And that was my thing. That's why I got to get a running back. Like I've got to protect myself if Saquon gets hurt. Like there's got to be something there.
And again, the most petrifying thing in Man Boob League is not having a running back. We can talk about value picks and taking best available, but in this league, running backs, you're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd rather play, having to plug and play like receivers than having to do that with running backs any day.
Of course. Yeah. Easily. I mean, look at when somebody's got waiver priority. Like they're saving it for a running back that becomes available.
Yeah, yeah.
They're waiting for your.
Not many of them.
Yep.
Not many of them. I mean, you guys learned they were flying off the fucking board and not falling to me.
Dude, and Don, I will fucking vouch for you. You are in a tough spot with the running back thing.
Yep.
I mean, especially if Montgomery's there, do you take him?
Maybe.
I think that'd be bad.
If CEH fell to the third, I was taking him. I might have taken Montgomery. It was just that CEH Waller pick. That could define my whole team. But CEH could fucking get hurt week 1, and I could have dodged a bullet. Who knows?
Right.
But Sam, I think Sam and Noble's team are. Your team might have a little more. I don't know.
What do you mean?
They're similar. I like them about the same. Noble and Sam's team. I give Noble a C. I'd probably give you a C.
I'll give you.
That's fair.
I would give you a C plus.
All right.
That's fair.
C plus to me.
See, Gil. We're in the same division, aren't we, Sam? Gil.
Yes.
Yep. All right. J Rod. Dude. Travis, you guys definitely have the tougher division for sure.
Yeah.
Sam, we kind of lucked out there too.
Yeah, we did.
But moving on.
And even texted me about it this morning.
Who
did?
Andy even texted me about it this. Just pretty much just saying the division's better than the others.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, Zeke, Diggs, Kittle, Lockett, Henderson, Wilson. That's tight. His first 6 picks are real tight.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think where he got Zeke was fucking bomb. I'll tell you this right now, Jared had the most optimal pick in that round, in my opinion.
If you guys would any of you guys taken Zeke over Saquon?
Yeah. I'm taking pretty much everybody in that first round over Saquon.
Okay.
I love Saquon, and I take him over Aaron Jones. That's where I take Saquon.
I'm not drafting injured player. Injuries will find you. You don't need to find them. Like I can't go into a season with Saquon confidently.
Would you so you've taken Jonathan Taylor over Saquon?
Yeah. And that's not a guy I'm super high on either.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think. Yeah. Sambo, I take him one pick later. I think complain about Saquon. You have to.
If it pays off, it pays off, dude. Nobody has a
season. Right. No. Yeah. I'm just. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jared always drafts well. He just has trouble with injuries every year.
Yeah.
Zeke, Diggs, Kittle, Lockett. Lockett's going to disappear a lot of weeks, but he balanced it with Diggs, who's just going to be steady, consistent rock every game.
Jared is a redrafter in the league, and I've said that about 4 or 5 people, but he's a top 3 drafter. He really is. He even said it. He said, I put a lot of emphasis on the draft, which we all do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but Jared knows what he's doing. He also does like 6 drafts a year.
There's not much I can knock on him really here.
Love the Kittle pick.
Yeah.
Love the Lockett pick. Tons of value in the 4th there.
This is like some teams don't really necessarily need a tight end, and like it's always good if you have one, but like this is a team where like having a tight end like Kittle really works out this team well. Like it really looks good on his team.
Yeah, it does.
If that makes any sense. Like it's just
Waller was a guy I definitely preferred over Kittle. Or I would have waited because both of those guys were available. I could have just been like, all right, if Waller goes to Brad, I'll take Kittle. But I wasn't gonna take Kittle. Like, I think there's too many mouths to feed in that offense. But Kittle's a fucking monster, so I'm probably gonna be totally wrong on that.
But you got Darren Waller, which you know you're gonna, you feel confident in, so it's worth it.
Waller's gonna get. It's like the same thing we were talking. Like Waller's gonna get targets, but Kittle's gonna get a lot of those big plays. Kittle's gonna take. He's not gonna have as many receptions, but he's gonna have.
There's not
more yards.
There's not much I can knock on Jared's team. Who's this?
Dude, getting Tyler Boyd I think is great. I think Tyler Boyd's an 1,100 yard receiver this year, possibly.
Yeah.
He maybe could have Boyd. He took Boyd over Jerry Jeudy, right? Is that right?
I like that.
I like Jeudy more personally.
This Jamar Chase is going to be a little bit in the back. I think he's taking a back seat in that offense right now.
He took Boyd over Laviska Shenault. That's another guy I prefer over Boyd.
Who's that?
Wide receiver for the Jaguars. Super talented guy. I think he probably outperforms DJ Chark this year. But there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense too. He's got Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark.
With a rookie quarterback.
Kind of similar to the Bengals. Like not are they gonna be able to feed all those guys? Maybe. They're gonna be playing catch up.
It has me scared for Mixon.
Well, the thing is, those dudes are gonna feed, but they're also gonna be those guys where they're going to go 3 weeks. It's only giving you like 40, 30 yards. And then just have a week where they have 80 yards and a touchdown. And for a player like that, it's good. That's a great day for a receiver like one of them. But that's going to be their...
I don't hate the Boyd pick that much. I'm not going
to
for it.
No. Don, who had a season? How different are Tyler Boyd's and Deontay Johnson's season?
What, last year? Or
this year? Like how much?
I think Deontay Johnson has a way higher ceiling just with how much he gets targeted. He gets targeted more than anybody. If he can be more efficient with those targets, the sky's the limit.
It's a fact.
He's with Ben. Big Ben's always got an efficient offense.
I think they're within 200 yards and 3 touchdowns of each other.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
He managed to he got his handcuff in the 11th round. That was good. And he got, and it's kind of a minor thing, but Redskins defense, dude, I was drafting them every mock draft.
Really?
Yeah, their early season schedule is just so cakey. So he's going to get some points from that. Burrow was an unnecessary pick. He didn't really need to do that. He already got Russell Wilson. And especially with the short bench, dude, how can you even roster 2 quarterbacks, man? You barely have room to roster your handcuff. I dropped my handcuff because there's just not enough fucking room. But Jared did.
Yeah, he did. Zach Moss, I thought was a great pick.
That's one of his best picks. And if Singletary has any health issues, we're fucked with Jared's team.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that backfield. Like Josh Allen's the running back 1 in that offense.
Yeah.
Like Zach Moss might fall into the end zone every couple of games, but I don't hate that. Especially with the running backs that are available at that point. What's going on?
That's a pick there, man.
Jared drafted a solid team.
Mm-hmm.
So is Boyd his flex, I guess? Yes, it is.
That's a late flex, but he spent some of his money on a tight end though.
Yeah, tight end and quarterback.
If you get an early tight end, I give you grace on your flex.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like what, and that's what I was like saying. Like he had a team built for Kittle. He had a team built for.
I
that
went early
marquee
tight
tight end.
end and early quarterback, and I drafted. I guess I drafted. See, I managed to get my flex in the 5th.
Who was your flex?
I guess that's because I went heavy wide receiver, Julio. Yeah, his was a little more balanced approach. That's why.
Yeah, he went 2 running back, 2 receiver, tight end,
I'd probably give him
and then got his flex.
a B plus. Give him a B plus. I think.
That's right. I'd give him.
I don't like him. I don't like it as much as Travis's team, but still a solid squad. Howie, who might be the best. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at Howie's team. Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, A.J. Brown, Amari Cooper, Myles Gaskin. Now, those first 4 picks are scary, man. Those are some scary picks. Yeah.
That Gaskin one's gonna be great. I'm telling you.
That was a good pick.
Yeah. His 3, 4, 5 were great.
A.J. Dillon in the 6th. That's a little early. I think that's more like 8th round. The 6th round's really early, but I mean he wanted to buy the insurance for his top guy. I get it. Tend to reach when you want to do that, but he did reach a little bit there. See,
that's one thing I'm not crazy about my team this year is, I mean, I guess with Jacobs a little bit, but Chubb, there really was no handcuff.
He
I
could have got Mike Davis. He could have got T. Higgins.
His team's pretty well.
Higgins where he took
Higgins. Yeah, Higgins went 3 picks after A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, that A.J. Dillon pick was way too early, bro. That's not his starter. That's starter status right there.
Yeah, 6th round. If you're spending a 6th round on a handcuff, like you're too scared. Like,
and that's fair, but I don't think that hurt his team that much. I mean, I don't think that hurt his team as bad as waiting for a quarterback and getting Jalen Hurts.
Sambo, listen to who went in the 6th, and I love Howie, top drafter. But listen to who went in the 6th round: Josh Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Will Fuller, Kenny Galladay, T. Higgins, Mike Davis, Russell Wilson, Mark Andrews, DJ Moore, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
And he took his backup running back.
Dude. Yeah, he should have taken Russell Wilson over A.J. Dillon.
There's a lot of guys he should have taken, I think. But aside from that, I think he did pretty good.
Howie does not win it on.
Did pretty good. He got Goddard in the 11th. Not high on Goddard, but 11th round. Fucking Ertz coming back just killed his value.
Yeah.
Oh, Ertz.
I mean, he did some good things early, but he did some really kind of weird things a little bit late.
Yeah, it's like he got overly satisfied with his team and just went into like padding mode. I'm telling you, the biggest mistake is taking that A.J. Dillon.
That was a true dude.
Yeah, he was put in a position where he maybe should have taken a risk and maybe tried to get somebody a little bit sexier, reached on something. Reaching on somebody would have been a better pick than A.J. Dillon.
Dude, he didn't have to reach there.
No.
He could have had Russell Wilson, like I said.
He could have got his boy Rodgers. He could have had Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Look
exactly. How much better his team would have looked if Aaron Rodgers was at the helm right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But overall, not a bad team at all.
No,
I could see it. Very good chance he makes it out of our division.
Oh sure, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not just saying that. I really don't like my team. I'm a Sacco worthy team.
I give him a B plus, probably about the same range as Jared. I like both the teams, just like a couple minor hiccups. Not even, I guess 6 rounds not minor, but They're similar teams to me. I like both of them. But
The reason I'm worried about Howie is he's going to watch the waiver wire harder than hell.
yeah, he is. CJ, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Kyler Murray. Dude, his team has so much upside.
I'm not high on CJ's team at all. I really, really do not like his team at all.
Who don't you like?
I don't like Jonathan Taylor. I would have liked him a little bit better if they weren't missing their best offensive lineman and their quarterback wasn't super chintzy. Even if he is get that week 1 start, he's not 100%, and that's
he was one of the riskier picks in the first round. Jonathan Taylor. He was a guy I was kind of I was avoiding a little bit, but I don't think it was a bad pick. Where he got him was right about where he should go.
And that's fair. But I would have. He's just one of those guys I was just going to avoid like the plague. I would have taken Kelsey, Adams, Hill.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, man. I take Najee Harris there.
I think he's going to. I wouldn't have drafted Najee Harris, but if you were to ask me, would I rather have Najee or Jonathan Taylor on my team? I'd rather have Najee.
But he followed up with Eckler and just really shored up that running back position after that. CeeDee Lamb is his wide receiver 1. Ton of upside there.
Yeah, you're bigger on.
I think I like CJ's team more than most people in the league. He got a lot of guys that I like. CeeDee Lamb, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was the number 1 quarterback last year. Went into that last week. Josh Allen
he's going to have a fight. I think he's going to have a very small sophomore slump. Not a slump, but I don't think he's going to be the number 1 quarterback in fantasy this year. I think
the thing that's with these teams on the come up is, they're an up and coming team. They're going to rely a little bit on him less to some of these guys, like Mahomes. His first year in the league, he was through 50 touchdowns. The next year, his team was already kind of established. He didn't have to sling the ball like that. They got a little bit of better defense the next year. They weren't really, if that makes any sense.
Do the Cardinals have a better defense this year?
Yeah. They got J.J. Watt. They drafted a linebacker in the first round.
Retained, an amazing linebacker.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and that being said, Kyler Murray's a great pick. I like it for him.
Yep. Yeah, maybe CJ's floor is kind of low, but if his team goes off, they're gonna go off.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at that core group of guys, I know he was not crazy about the Mark Andrews pick, but Mark Andrews in the 6th rounds, he didn't reach on him.
No, that's I can't knock
maybe
that.
Maybe just like a strategical thing. He didn't want to pick tight end that early. But his team would look really bad, or his team I think would look a lot worse if he didn't have a tight end like that. He's a team who benefits from having a good tight end.
I genuinely think
go ahead.
That what I have a hard problem with the starting 4. I really do. I think Brandon Ayuk people give a little more credit than he is.
I'm not on the Ayuk train.
CeeDee Lamb, just a sophomore receiver. John Taylor, I think, is going to be solid. 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, though, to me is just a little bit shaky too. Like, there's not one guy outside of Kyler Murray and Mark Andrews, which still is an 800-yard receiving, tight end when you look at his stats.
Yeah.
I don't see one.
If Eckler stays healthy, dude, he's gonna fucking eat, man. Eckler's a monster, dude. He's gonna be it's a high-powered offense. If Eckler can stay healthy, I mean, he's gonna put up some crazy numbers. And
about these scatbacks.
What?
Something about these scatbacks, Don. They just don't stay healthy.
Unless it's fucking I know. Eckler's the one scatback that love that guy.
He's good. He is good.
He's like a CMC light.
Yeah. And I think he could potentially have a better year than Jonathan Taylor.
That might be.
Yeah,
That might be.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
I maybe go Eckler there.
I'm not on. I don't like the Eckler. I don't like Eckler either, but he got him where I think is okay to get him. Like
I have no issue with his first 4 picks personally. CeeDee Lamb, sophomore. That's when the wide receivers blow up. It's their sophomore year, and he looked good last year when Dak was in. If Dak stays healthy, the sky's the limit. I think there's a lot of potential for his team to put up some crazy points this year, but the injuries, they could just do nothing. Faceplant. Fournette.
I don't love the Fournette or Logan Thomas.
Yeah, why did he pick Logan Thomas?
I don't know. I think for some trade bait.
9th round for trade bait?
That's a CJ move.
Yeah, he was better off just skipping out on Mark Andrews and waiting for Logan Thomas. He's right.
Yeah.
They're not drafting Logan Thomas at all. Who'd he get?
Yeah.
Was that Nyheim Hines? Got his handcuffed there, so that's fine. But even if Jonathan Taylor gets injured, it's not like Nyheim Hines is going to be the lead back, right? He's kind of got his role in that offense.
Yeah, who's the other dude they have too? They have Nyheim Hines and they have another running back there too.
Mack? Is Mack alive?
Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming off an Achilles tear.
Oh, yeah.
Which it'll be interesting to monitor that when you're thinking about Cam Akers and what he might look like when he comes back next year, if he does. But
say this. I don't think he has a.
Who's his quarterback? Oh, Murray. Duh.
But look at his number 2 receiver, and who's his flex is going to be Laviska Shenault or Leonard Fournette.
He's got some young guys. His wide receiving core is young, dude. But I like all those guys, and I think they got a lot of potential to have a big year this year. They're just all guys that I like. That's probably why I like his team.
And that's why he took a lot of guys who I was trying to avoid.
He's got one
like
of the more
Taylor,
interesting
Eckler.
teams. I think there's a large range of outcomes with CJ's team.
It's super CJ. It's super CJ team.
Yeah, it really is. Respect it.
I think he's an on the bubble guy, but barely misses.
Speaking of which, I don't know why you guys let me get in the car with him after he'd been drinking. Jesus Christ.
Did he get 6?
Yeah, we went to get cigarettes, dude.
It's awesome.
All right, CJ, I'd probably give a B plus. B plus.
I give him a C.
I'm going C minus.
Wow. I tried, CJ. I tried.
I love you.
Going C minus. But I don't see one person. I don't see one backbone. Where's his backbone at? It's not. I don't know.
Oh fuck yeah!
Let's move on to Andy. Let's wrap this shit up. He went Kelsey and followed up with Gibson, who's a player I love me some Gibson, dude. I love me some Gibson. I loved Najee Harris, Antonio Gibson, and Joe Mixon. Those 3 I was just going back and forth on all off season. All right, who am I going to take? And it was Najee Harris for the majority, and Gibson's leaped him in my eyes at the very end, right before the draft. I would have taken Gibson. I think he's a monster, dude. He's super talented, and I think he's gonna thrive in that offense this year.
I'm saying this. That's what.
Yeah, I think so too.
Salute.
And Gibson was somebody who it took me a while to come on to. When I first started doing this, doing research stuff, I was like, man, I really don't know, but I came on to him later. He just looks good.
Be a detriment to my fantasy, ability, but I'll tell you this right now, just not a Redskins guy. Not a Redskins guy. I'm not big on Terry McLaurin. Not big on Antonio Gibson, and I will tell you, for whatever reason, I bet they start yanking around and messing around with Fitzpatrick, which is going to have a heavy effect on McLaurin's production.
The only downside of Gibson is I don't know if he's going to get those third down touches with McKissick there. That's the only drawback to him, where I was kind of having like second thoughts. But I mean, right where he took him, I would have done the same exact thing. Kelsey Gibson is an awesome start in my eyes. And Miles Sanders, obviously after last year, I don't like the guy that much, but he got him right around where he goes, third round.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's me about Miles Sanders as well.
Yeah, I can't go another year without watching fucking Boston Scott's fat ass vulture touches and touchdown. I can't.
God.
Fuck that.
Who is that?
Boston Scott. I guess handcuff. It's just like, they have a new coach there, or is it the same staff as last year?
Yeah. No, they got a new head coach.
Okay, maybe it'd be different, because they do not use Miles Sanders right, dude. He is way too good to be sharing touches with those guys.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Keenan Allen.
I can't hate on.
I like that. I think Keenan Allen's going to have a 1,200-yard season with Herbert there the whole time.
He's reliable. He's about as reliable as it can get.
Keenan Allen in the 4th too. That's good value.
That's great value.
Yeah, Chase Edmonds, which I don't know. I mean, is he gonna get? He's not a 3-down back, but he ends up getting. He gets his by the end of the year, I feel like.
Yeah, pull up Edmonds. That's one running back who.
Like, I know.
Is he really under the radar?
Rushing stats aren't gonna look great, but he's involved in the passing game a lot. What's his team?
I'm in Travis Tampa Tramp.
Are you in our division, Travis?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Andy should be in our division. Looking at it wrong? Which one's Andy?
No.
It says
he's Tom and Travis. He's Tom and Travis Tramp. Yeah.
Oh, that's
for Tom
Andy.
Brady.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Travis for Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay. Threw me off.
Who's he got there?
See, 400 yards rushing, but if we pull it up, get the passing involvement, it's going to even itself out a little more.
Maybe they showed his passing stats on there, on that previous screen.
Did it?
Yeah, hit back. You see yards and yards.
That's projected.
On 2020 season, then 2021.
Yeah.
It was on there.
What do you mean? Here.
Yeah, look, 2020 season. There's his rushing and receiver, and then 2021 projected. That's what he did last year, and that's what he's going to do this. That's what they're saying he's going to do.
I know. I'm trying to find his receiving totals on there. See, receiving totals. Jesus Christ. 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. So right around like 900 yards total.
That's fair. And that's a fair flex.
He was just adding depth to his running backs. Yeah, it's all right. Not crazy about it, but it's all right. DJ Moore, I mean, if he can find a way to get in the end zone, which he's so talented and he gets targeted so much, and he can't get in the end zone, man.
I think he'll have a lot better shot with
if he can get in the end zone. Yeah, he's gonna pay off big time there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be a fine wide receiver too. Brady in the 7th is a little early.
Yeah.
It's a little early.
I agree. He was feeling the pain from not getting Mahomes though too, and he wanted to get his. I mean, Bucks are his team.
Yeah.
I like Cooks where he got him a lot.
Yeah. Cooks and Landry and.
I really do think Brandon Cooks and Jarvis Landry were 2 big value picks there.
I like.
They're like the exact same receiver.
I mean, Brandon Cooks. They have nobody else to throw the ball to. I realize it's Tyrod Taylor, but somebody's got to get those balls, and it's gonna be Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
You got Devontae Smith. See, weird. I would have drafted Devontae Smith over injury probably. Maybe even
Probably.
Cooks.
Especially with Jalen Hurts being out there back with him. I like that Devontae Smith pick.
I think he's got a pretty solid squad. I still think Howie's the best team in our division. I'd probably give him a B. Myself.
I'll give him a B- just for taking Brady too early. B-. I'll give him B-. He could have really have used I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you look at where Gil got Ryan Tannehill 4 rounds later. 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who could he have gotten instead of Tom?
Like what quarterbacks or what player?
Yeah, so he could have gotten. Yeah, I mean, instead of Tom there.
Yeah, like just any position player, Deontay or
Juju Smith,
Kenyon Drake, or
Deontay was gone. Deontay was off the board. Let's see, Sony Michel, Juju went after him.
I think his Cooks and Landry pick make a lot of difference there. For whatever reason, I think they give him some solid depth.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like Cooks and Devontae Smith. He's got a solid squad.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Miller. I mean, just terrifying to go against. Adams, Hopkins, Chris Carson, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, getting Patrick Mahomes in the 4th.
I couldn't. That's a big thing. I could not believe.
That's the steal of the draft.
Bud took Gus Edwards over Patrick Mahomes. That would change his team a lot.
Dude, Bud could have had a Mahomes Tyreek Hill stack, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I couldn't believe Andy did not take him in the 3rd.
That is devastating. I mean, it's good for our division. We don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have sucked to go against.
Oh, 100%.
Just like,
and it would have made Miller's team a little bit worse and Bud's team a lot better. Like, it's
absolutely right. I didn't even realize that.
And I didn't really realize it because I wasn't as hyped about Miller's team at the end of draft when we were doing our analyzation. But the more I look at it, the more you guys are right. His team's good.
Yeah,
his team's good.
He drafted really well. I mean, especially going wide receiver, and he ended up.
That's hard.
He ended up with some decent running backs if they can stay healthy with the Carson.
Yeah.
But he got Rashad Penny at the end of the draft too, just to like secure that a little bit. I think he drafted really well. He had the
Higbee. I thought was great.
Him and Brad. I think we nailed it. I think they had the best drafts.
I think so too. I didn't like it. The more I look at it though, his team's really has so much upside.
Yeah, his team's a little sexier than Brad's.
He's pretty stacked, I'll admit that. He's pretty fucking...
It's going to be a bloodbath watching Brad and Miller duke it out in that division.
Dude, now, we'll tell you this. I think that either...
They play week 1.
I know. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. Either Mostert, Harris, or Sony Michael will go off. One of those 3 will. I mean, possibly 2 out of 3, but one of those 3 will.
And do you know what though? Like with Hopkins and Adams, they don't really like need to.
No, they really don't.
He doesn't need them to.
Just with Hopkins, Adams, and Mahomes, I mean, they're gonna go off every fucking week. And if another guy does, then great.
His team's really well protected.
Tyler Higbee in the 8th. It's a little early.
Yeah.
Well, I still think that's a great tight end.
Yeah.
I think the Antonio Brown pick 9th is fucking awesome.
That was spot on. 9th round. That's where he got. I mean, without fail, 9th round. Yeah, I love AB. AB was on like all my mock draft teams.
I like it. I'm about to have to get off here soon, guys. Just an FYI.
All right. wrap this up, and I think Sam's gonna do waiver order or something, or do you want to just? We can just. I mean, we've been going.
I can do that off thing. I'll record
We've
myself
been going
do
a
it.
while. All right,
I can do that off camera.
Miller's team's good. I give him an A. Yeah, Brad both
I think
are my only A's.
I like it, man. I would take Taylor. I would do an A for Tay. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I would do it. All right, so on to Bud Brown. I think his team's pretty fucking nasty, honestly.
Really?
I think Patrick Mahomes over Gus Edwards is a little bit better, but if Najee Harris does what we just says he does, if Tyreek Hill does what we expect him to do, and if Gus Edwards if Gus Edwards is 1,000 yards and a 10 touchdown back, I think his team's great. And go ahead.
I mean, hoping for 10 touchdowns out of your second round. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of touchdowns. I'm not saying it's not in his range of outcomes. That's his ceiling. Yeah. That's his ceiling.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think the OBJ pick could be decent.
And I'll tell you this, that team gets vultured by Lamar Jackson a lot. Especially without their marquee running back. With Gus Edwards being their number 2, they're going to be rotating like running backs and stuff.
The running back twos get fed.
Yeah.
Without fail. It doesn't matter if it's Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards. Hopefully this year, Tyson Williams, a guy I just picked up. Hopefully.
Yeah. He's RB3. If you look at their depth chart, he's potentially, RB3 if you look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar's going to put up better rushing numbers than Gus, probably.
I don't. The only reason I mind the Gus Edwards pick is because Mahomes was right there and he already had Tyreek Hill and he could have had that stack. If it wasn't for that, I'm totally fine with that pick right there. His first 4 picks are fine to me.
Right now, Melvin Gordon's flexing, or OBJ, or Juju.
Adam Thielen's going to come back down to earth a little bit. I mean, he's not. He put up 13 touchdowns. I mean, that's not going to happen again. Najee Harris is about the safest pick you could have in the second round. I think he's going to get so much volume.
I like that pick. I mean, I like
I like it a
Hill
lot.
and Najee, but
his first 2 picks are great.
3 to 14.
The Melvin Gordon pick was one I didn't care for. David Johnson, I mean, can you expect anything out of that backfield? Like, which one's it going to be? I mean, it could very well be Phillip Lindsay, and he was drafted in, like, the 12th round.
Yeah.
True.
And that's if he's healthy. We're saying if David Johnson, he has to be healthy to even if he does break out, he has to be healthy. Like, I think he's an afterthought, David Johnson.
I don't think his team has a ton of upside.
No.
I really don't.
He is one injury away from his whole team completely melting down.
I'm a little bit bigger on him than you guys are because I do have a little bit of faith in Gus Edwards, but I still don't think it's. I mean, he's a bubble guy to me, 5 to 7 guy. I don't put him as low as you guys do, but who knows? He can go as low as 8 or 9 to me. But
I mean,
I don't hate the Tyreek Hill and Najee Harris. I think the Thielen pick was a little bit early. Maybe I would have gone Chris in there.
Who?
Oh no, he was going. I don't know.
He could have taken Keenan Allen or I guess Amari Cooper.
Hell, I'd have taken Mahomes.
Yeah, that was the big one. I can't believe I didn't realize that till now. Yeah, kind of his middle rounds were a little weird to me.
If I didn't take Lamar in the 5th, I'm surprised somebody didn't jump on Lamar when he jumped on. Well, somebody jumped on Kyler, I guess. Yeah. And I could see him being a little bit lower, but I don't know. I'm shocked I didn't look at Mahomes in the 3rd. Honestly, I'm shocked I didn't. Me and Sam swore if he was there in the 2nd, we would let him go. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't drafting him in the 2nd.
I wouldn't be afraid of it, but I just.
If you're early, if you had Kelsey and you need, get a marquee running back too.
I was just.
Decent. I tell you this: a Travis Kelce, a Najee Harris, and a Patrick Mahomes, which of all three could have been taken. I think that would have been a nice 1, 2, 3 for anybody.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if I was, the only reason why I didn't go quarterback there is because of how unsure Barkley is. If I would have gotten, either of you guys, Chubb, Cook, Kamara, CMC, Derrick Henry, I don't know if Mahomes would have slipped past me in the second. Maybe it's a good thing that didn't happen. I mean, maybe it's better for my team that didn't. Maybe I'm crazy for doing that. But I don't know if he would. I had to take another positions player because I felt like that. Like, Barkley's so unsure.
Since Barkley's so shaky and unsure, I probably could have went with the sure points with Mahomes instead of going.
Okay.
Been more unsure with Swift.
Yeah.
It's easy to say it afterwards, though,
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, guy. Well, so what grade do we give Bobbert?
I'd give him a C-.
I'd probably have to agree. C-.
I'm telling you this, guys. I'm telling you, if you take his team and simply draft Patrick Mahomes in the third, I think he has a top 4 team.
His team's better with no argument. Yeah, his team's better with Mahomes, but he doesn't have very good depth, especially at running back.
You got Tevin Coleman, David Johnson. I mean, these are guys that were relevant 3-4
overall
years ago.
That's rough. So his wide receivers are Adam Thielen and OBJ and Juju Smith-Schuster. They're all.
He got Tyreek too. Tyreek, Adam Thielen. So I don't. Who's his flex? Right? I guess Melvin Gordon. He can plug in whoever.
Yeah, Melvin, OBJ, Juju, Deontay, Coleman.
I think he'll be bottom of the division, but we've been wrong about Bud in the past. So.
Yeah.
So if you had one championship, if you had to pick a champion right now, I guess Sam, are we going to wait for you to come up with the order, the rankings, right? And then
no, we don't have to do that. No, I mean that's kind of no, we don't have to. We'll do that next week. Then I'll give the rankings, and we can go. Then when you guys do the brawl and stuff, then you guys can start going based off rankings. But not even our first week yet. We did it all right. I do think if I have to pick a champion right now, probably Mill and Brad are on a collision course.
Yeah, and they're in the same division.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
I think Jared's got an okay shot.
I like Jared's team, yeah.
I think Miller's up there too. I would say if I had to pick one, maybe Miller because of the Mahomes pick. I hate to say it, but I think that and I wouldn't have said this the past 2 seasons. 3 seasons ago, yes. But I do think I'm a top 3 team this year. So I think if somebody takes it, it's going to be Miller.
I think my team is just so unexciting.
Our division's so boring, Don.
It's like such an unexciting team. But you look at it round by round, can't really say I made any bad picks.
Well, when you go with tight end,
I constructed my team differently, but
a lot of your teams coming down to CMC, and your second pick was the most unsexy skill position in fantasy. So it's not. There's a little bit of non-hotness, but what Darren Waller does is 300 yards closer to the next tier.
I have an advantage over every other team I play, but Andy's team.
Agreed.
He's the clear-cut number 2 tight end in the league, and I think he has the potential to push for the top. I love Darren Waller. He's a target machine, and he gets into the end zone. But we'll wrap it up, boys.
Yeah.
All right, there we go, boys. That's it for the brawl.
Catch you next week, hopefully.
See you next week.
Absolutely. Good luck, boys. Good luck first week.
Good luck.
Hey, wait. One more thing. Thank you to Andy and Miller for prepping the food and buying the food and
100%.
The shirts. I meant to say that at the beginning and got sidetracked, but that was awesome, you guys.
Yeah, it was.
You got to get your purple hoodie, man. Get your purple hoodie.
That's right. Later.
Alrighty, boys.